ABC 7.
Cubs and White Sox have been battling in interleague play now for 20 seasons. Hard to believe, but it started back in 1997. Should be a big crowd tonight here at U.S. Cellular Field. It's the first of 4 in a row between these two Chicago rivals. Welcome to Cubs baseball here on ABC 7. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. Aroldis Chapman is a Chicago Cub. He will be here tomorrow night.
Yeah, Gleyber Torres, one of the top infield prospects in the game, goes the other way along with Adam Warren and others. But Chapman, boy, what a 1-2 punch now the Cubs have in the back end of their bullpen with Hector Rondon, who will now be setting up for Chapman. 20 out of 21 this year with the Yankees, a 2.01 ERA. Huge strikeout numbers. The Cubs know all about him from his time in Cincinnati with that 100-plus mile-per-hour fastball.
He had to sit out the first 29 games this season for the Yankees under MLB's new domestic violence policy. The Cubs did their homework, and they're thrilled to have him in their bullpen. We'll hear more from Theo Epstein on the deal later. Well, there have been a lot of interesting moments, haven't there, in this Crosstown Classic going back to 1997 as we get you set for the Cubs and the Sox. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. By Keller Graduate School of Management, learn loud. By State Farm, talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. By Honda, start something special with a great deal on a Honda, now at your Honda dealer. And by Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Hey, Jake Arrieta's pitching for the Cubs tonight. Let's check out the perfect pitch brought to you by Blue Moon.
Yeah, he was on top of his game last time out against the Mets. Really his best start in about a month. You saw the fastball elevated for a swinging strike. Then he paid the outside corner. And don't forget about the changeup. That's a big weapon for Arrieta as well. And he catches Jose Reyes way out in front of this off-speed pitch.
Blue Moon, artfully brewed with Valencia orange peel and a touch of coriander. Something's brewing. And here's your Honda starting pitching matchup.
Yeah, a couple of former Orioles matching up tonight. Arrieta against the White Sox last year, 2 starts, very good both times with a 1.72 ERA. Miguel Gonzalez, a veteran released by Baltimore early this year, and he's been on a nice roll of late. His last 4 starts, just 1 and 2, but a 2.77 ERA.
Cubs will face Chris Sale on Thursday night. That will be at Wrigley Field. But first things first, we've got a couple of games here on the south side. We'll have the lineups and the first pitch of the opener next.
I just asked them to understand that we did look at it from every perspective. We tried to look at it from their perspective as well, as we dove into the facts, as we dove into his response to the incident, to what's gone on in his life since then, to the discipline that was already handed out by Major League Baseball, as we paid careful attention to how he's behaved as a player and as a citizen with the New York Yankees, and that our strong expectation that will continue as a member of the Cubs.
That's Cubs president Theo Epstein on the offseason incident for Aroldis Chapman, which led to the suspension to start the year. Again, he will be here and in uniform and available in the bullpen tomorrow night. And tonight's HD broadcast is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Dexter Fowler in the leadoff spot. We'll get you the entire Cubs lineup here in a moment. He is DHing. And his right-hander Miguel Gonzalez works for the White Sox. Wearing their candy stripe early 80s throwbacks. And we're underway.
All in one piece, might I add.
Fowler did not start yesterday after 2 games in the lineup, returning from the disabled list. Did pinch hit late and walked. Just kind of general body soreness, and Joe easing him back in the lineup as he's DHing this evening. A line shot to center. That's caught by J.B. Shuck and the rest of the Cubs. Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist, Wilson Contreras in left, Jason Hayward playing center, Addison Russell back in the lineup. He left early with a heel injury yesterday. Miguel Montero catching, and Javier Baez playing second and batting ninth.
White Sox defense brought to you by Comcast Business. Cabrera, Shuck, Eaton in the outfield. Adam Eaton having a tremendous year. 20 defensive runs saved to lead Major League Baseball. Frazier, the rookie Anderson, Saladino, and Abreu on the infield. Tanner Navarro does the catching.
Chris Bryant with a high drive to deep left, and it is caught by Cabrera. He just stole away a home run. Melky Cabrera just took away what would have been number 26 for Chris.
A beautiful play by Cabrera, robbing Chris Bryant. This crowd that was pretty pumped up for the very first pitch, really energized with that play by Cabrera. This is going to be fun here, these 4 games. 2 here, 2 more on the north side, and boy, it looked like the Cubs were going to draw first blood, but Cabrera rises up and steals that home run.
What a catch. You're going to be seeing that one a few more times this week. And now it's Anthony Rizzo with 2 outs. Boy, a couple of balls hit really hard to start this game, but both for outs. Rizzo had a great week, didn't he? Game-winning 3-run double yesterday. Big homer against the Mets Monday. 2-homer game on Wednesday.
That was such a big hit yesterday in a game that it felt like a loss, and they came back and essentially stole it.
Hooters hot play of the game brought to you by your Chicagoland Hooters, the original wing joint that cleared the bases. By the way, I just got your all-in-one piece joke. Nicely done. Well played, sir.
That's all I'm going to say about it until I get bored and feel like talking about it again. Well, Miguel Gonzalez, a losing record, 2-5, 441, but as we mentioned there in the pregame, of late he's been quite good. 41-38 lifetime. Had some nice years with Baltimore. He's 32 years of age. Not overpowering. Fastball, slider, curveball, and probably his best pitch is a little split changeup kind of funky thing that he throws.
Into his motion on a 3-1, and ball 4. Scott Barry made the call from behind home plate. Weather at first pitch is brought to you by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. For all the right reasons, call 866 Four Seasons. Really a beautiful night. Not too hot. Barry, Gibson, Wendelstedt, and Lane, the crew chief. Your umpires for tonight. Now Ben Zobrist. He looks at ball 1. 4 hits over the last 2 days. for Ben after a long offer. We're talking to guys in the clubhouse today, JD. That win yesterday was huge. Come back from down 4-0.
Especially the way the game transpired with John Lester frustrated early with a pretty tight strike zone. The Brewers were running like crazy. They stole a bunch of bases. Cubs hit into a couple double plays, took them out of innings, and it felt miserable from the Cubs' point of view until that late rally. Joe Nathan making his Cubs debut has a second and third nobody out situation, and then strikes out 3 in a row.
One and one on Zobrist. Here's the pitch. Foul back to the net.
What are Mercedes-Benz keys to the game? Yeah, what are the keys to this ball game? Well, after much deliberation, we decided that we would go with this. He's back. Jake Arrieta, so good last time out after a tough stretch. Melky, who made the nice catch out there and left the milkman, has been hot, so we need to cool him off. And the youngsters on the rise, specifically Russell and Baez, over the last week, really good, and extended out further. They both had very good months in July.
A little sound effect of keys rattling, I think. Nice addition to that particular segment.
We spend a lot of time deliberating that every game because we've been promised a free car at the end of the year if we do a real nice job.
1-2 tap foul.
I'll go for a little 560 convertible. Candy apple red. Tan interior.
There's a walk with 2 outs. And on Zobrist. Cubs extended their lead in the Central to 7.5. Cardinals lost last night to the Dodgers. 8.5 up on Pittsburgh. Best record in baseball. That one pulled in the air and out of play. NL Central standings are brought to you by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. Cubs looking for win number 60. It could be the first team to 60 wins this year. White Sox 4th in the American League Central, 8.5 back. 8th in the American League wild card race, 6.5 out. So they are in sell mode, it appears, with 1 week to go before the non-waiver deadline.
The White Sox 25 up, 40 down since that great start. Remember, they were 23-10. They had the second best record in baseball behind the Cubs. We were dreaming about a possible Cubs-White Sox World Series.
Zobrist bounces to first. Abreu will step on the base, and that'll end the inning. Cubs thought they had the first run. And Melky Cabrera took one away from Chris Bryant. Sox are coming up. starting lineup. Adam Eaton had one of their 2 game-ending hits to beat Detroit yesterday. Tim Anderson, rookie shortstop, their top prospect going into the year. Cabrera, Abreu, Morneau, Justin Morneau, their DH. Todd Frazier with 28 homers, low batting average. Shuck, the former Cub, Navarro, and Saladino rounded out. Jake Arrieta ready to work. And a strike 95 on the gun to Adam Eaton. Bryant in on the grass at third. The ground ball to short. It's Addison Russell. And JD, how about the rest of the defense?
How about that? Check it out. Brought to you by Chevrolet. Wilson Contreras left, Jason Hayward in center, Ben Zobrist in right. Bryant, Russell, Baez, Rizzo third to first, Miguel Montero behind the plate. For Big Jake, in pursuit of his 13th win, he has pitched to a 2.60 ERA. This is start number 20. Opposing batters hitting less than 200.
Tim Anderson with a liner that's caught by Baez. Well-timed leap.
Two quick outs, the ground ball, now a little soft line drive. Now the challenge there is to not leave your feet too early. Sometimes infielders will misread that ball, think it's more sharply hit than it is.
There's Cabrera. You mentioned defensive runs saved for Adam Eaton. Does Cabrera get a +1 for that play?
Yeah, I would say.
Game-ending RBI single in the 9th in the regularly scheduled game yesterday. They had a suspended game from Saturday night, and the White Sox won that one. And then the regular one.
Cabrera hitting .367 over his last 30 ABs, 11 out of 30, a couple of doubles, a triple, a home run.
Second time this year Jake will pitch, but not bad. He was the Cubs opening day starter in Anaheim. And he went 7 shutout innings to get the win on April 4th. There's ball 4. Both teams' number 3 hitter reaching on a 2-out walk here in the opening inning. Jose Abreu, 29 years old, 3rd major league season. He's been a 3,100 guy each of his first 2 seasons. At this point, doesn't look like he'll get there this year.
Now the number's not horrible, but certainly down and below what the White Sox have come to expect from Abreu. Just 11 home runs, slugging percentage way off what he has done in the past. Thinking was that with the addition of Todd Frazier to the lineup here, that Abreu would really flourish, having Frazier in the lineup alongside of him to provide some protection. Again, that's, you know, that could be overplayed, overstated. Some people are big believers in it, others not so much.
Topper hits slowly to Bryant. He's got time, and that will end the first inning. Seen some good glove work on both sides. Baez for the Cubs.
Taught me how to play this game, but more importantly, he taught me how to be a man. And I love you for that.
Now the Griffies, what a touching moment from yesterday in Cooperstown, and that father-son moment brought to you by Sport Clips Haircuts. It's good to be a guy with over 85 Chicagoland locations. Find yours at sportclips.com. Wilson Contreras takes a strike, underway here in the Cubs' second. Cubs are 49-55 all time in regular season against the White Sox. 24-28 in this ballpark. And you see last year's three season series. One and two on Contreras. He's playing left. High strikeout rate early on, but he has walked better than average. 27% the strikeout rate. And he fans for #1 for Gonzalez.
It's that split change that he features, and that was a dandy. Cub fans, let's go. Playing now for the August and September push towards the playoffs. Tickets are still available for the second half, but don't wait. They're going fast. Faster than a Aroldis Chapman fastball. Visit Cubs.com today.
Here's Jason Hayward playing center.
Hey, I'm going to get a little action up here tonight.
Well, we're in a good spot for it. Gonzalez signed with the Angels as an undrafted free agent back in 2004. Born in Guadalajara, Mexico. His family moved to San Bernardino, California when he was 4 years old. Went to Los Angeles Mission College. Had to battle a lot of injuries in the minor leagues. Swing and a miss, strike three.
Two in a row for Gonzalez, who a little bit below average in terms of strikeout rate.
Didn't know if Addison would be in the lineup today. He had to exit early on Sunday with a left heel bruise on a backswing Saturday. He caught himself on the heel and just pretty sore yesterday, so had to exit. But back in there tonight. Inning and a half in, 0-0. DH Justin Morneau takes a belt high fastball for a strike. He signed with the White Sox in June and was immediately put on the disabled list while recovering from off-season left elbow surgery. He's battled concussions in his career, but just 2 years ago he was a National League batting champ with the Rockies.
Four-time All-Star, 2006 MVP of the American League. Joe Mauer in Minnesota did a lot of damage. Oh my goodness.
That pitch bounced way out in front of home plate.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.
Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 21, Todd Frazier.
In other words,
He always had great walk-up music.
hold my hand.
When you've loved and lost like Frank has, you know what life's all about. There's a strike called on
He
former
should
Red.
do a different Frank song every time he comes up. I'd like to hear a little Summer Breeze tonight. Or the Summer Wind, I mean.
Just mixed up Frank Sinatra and Seals and Crofts.
Yeah. They used to hang together.
Where?
That's in Vegas. You don't hear that much about it.
Robinson. Man.
Year 5 for Robin here with the Sox. He's had a lot to deal with the whole Adam LaRoche situation in spring training, and now the Chris Sale uniform flap. He is, however, unflappable. Whoa. Out of sync there. Well, so good last time out, and one of the reasons why he threw strike one 74% of the time in his start against the Mets.
Roll over grounder to Bryant.
And he also used that curveball a fair bit in that outing as well, and he just threw a pretty good hook right there to Frazier.
Hey, Cub fans, check out the Cubs blog on abc7.com, brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide agent, serving the area for 38 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. J.B. Shuck looks at a strike. Former Cub Austin Jackson is on the DL after knee surgery. Curveball that time bounced foul. All 4 games this week will be under the lights. Here once again tomorrow. We'll start an hour earlier, and then 7:05 starts Wednesday and Thursday at Wrigley Field. Swing and foul.
Got a piece. Tough guy to finish off. Shuck, good contact hitter, doesn't strike out much at all. He hasn't walked very much this year, and normally you count on him for working a few walks.
Swing and a miss on a great changeup. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Arrieta. Lots of zeros after 2. 9th. Budweiser will provide a Cubs scoreboard tank top to up to the first 5,000 early arriving fans 21 and older in the Budweiser bleachers. Get here early. For details, visit Cubs.com/Fridays. Miguel Montero, huge hit off the bench yesterday. It was a 1-out pinch hit single. It started the game-winning 5-run rally. It was against left-hander Will Smith. He had been 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts against Smith in his career. I talked to Miguel today. He said he might be the toughest guy he's faced. But it worked out.
Yeah, another big hit in that series against the Brewers. Still trying to get off the interstate. Plenty of time to get things turned around and start to contribute a little bit more with the bat. And he's shown some signs of life here lately.
Baez and then Fowler here in the 3rd inning. And the pull shift on. Saladino out of shallow right, and that one hit a ton, but way foul to right.
Gonzalez is more of a fly ball type pitcher, but he has not allowed a lot of home runs. Only 8 home runs surrendered by Gonzalez this year. Throughout his career, he's been pretty good against both right and left. That changeup really helps him compete against left-handed hitters. Showing a nice little slider here early. The pitch he likes to go to 0-0 to get a strike on a right-handed hitter in particular. Joe Madden saw plenty of him when he was with the Orioles and Joe was managing the Rays, and Joe said, you know, I really like this guy. He knows how to pitch.
3-2 is hit in the air to left. Cabrera will make the catch. Hey fans, when you think mortgage in Chicago, think eClick Lending. Whether looking to purchase or refi, never pay lender fees at eClick Lending. With rates currently hovering at all-time lows, now is the time. Head to eClickLending.com and lock in your low rate today. eClick Lending. Point, click, save. Baez chops one foul. These are the road trips we really like.
That's pretty handy, isn't it? Zip up and back to Milwaukee and then stay right here at home.
Off the end of the bat and a base hit. The first one for either team. Baez, oh, he was going to try for 2. Now get there as Eaton overran it. Going to be a single and an error. Baez was going to try it, but he slipped around first.
Now, we mentioned earlier that Eaton is having a tremendous year defensively. Not a real sense of urgency pursuing this one, and with Baez's speed, you got to be careful. And I think Baez was just trying to deke him initially, and then the misplay allows him to get into scoring position. See Eaton, as he's going down to pick up that ball, peeks to find Baez. Lost the baseball.
Runner at second with 1 out and a strike called on Fowler. Dexter came back off the disabled list on Friday and was brilliant. 3 hits, a double, leadoff homer, knocked in 3. Navarro will throw behind Baez.
These interleague games come along at a good time for Dexter to keep his bat in the lineup, but save his legs a little bit.
Designated hitters, and not bad. Two balls, two strikes.
I think if you ask most players on both sides, they would say, well, you know, it's just another game. It's more important to the fans. Caught up in it, the whole crosstown rivalry, but you have to feel a little extra juice, the energy in the ballpark.
No doubt. Now, these games are different. Fowler strikes out. Today's save of the game is brought to you by Feldco. Save big with Feldco. $1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors. Melky Cabrera talked about his bat with your keys. His glove, bigger part of this game so far. It was quite a landing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have been Chris's first home run since the 5th of July.
Yeah, he has not homered yet here in the second half. He was oh so close. Ball one. Ripped into left and a base hit. Baez to third, and he'll be stopped by Gary Jones. Great throw to the plate. Now they've got Bryant caught up. Navarro's going to throw to second. Baez to the plate. He is out. He danced as long as he could, but eventually Navarro got him. And the inning is over. Wild end to the top of this inning. A 7-2, 4-2 put out. Baez at the plate, and the switch hitting ex-Cub Deanna Navarro, who made that tag, takes a strike.
Yeah, nice play on a little short hop there by Navarro.
In the air, pretty well hit, but Hayward will have room.
Play where a lot of times you're going to send that back runner, just keep him going, assuming that if the ball goes all the way through, he's going to be able to get into scoring position, or if it's cut, that it will allow the run to score. But that ball was hit so sharply to left field and got home so quickly, Brian didn't have time to get to second base as the ball comes all the way through to home plate. And he still can't get to second, so he decides to try to get into a rundown. And Baez does the right thing too here. You'd rather force them to try to make a play at home than at second base.
That's a fair ball off the bat of Tyler Saladino, and he will have a double, their first hit. Saladino in for Brett Laurie, dealing with left hamstring tightness.
Saladino able to get the head out in front of that one and pull it right down the line.
Eaton leading the American League with 7 triples.
The speed guy, bunch of infield hits. He'll drop down a bunt on occasion.
Two and nothing. Marietta has the sign. Look at the runner. Now the pitch. Right field and down. Zobrist will throw to second. It's 1-0 White Sox. RBI single, Adam Eaton.
Marietta trying to bury that slider down and in on Eaton. Couldn't quite get it down nor in enough, and Eaton delivers the RBI single. He's hobbled a little bit.
Yeah,
his time going down the line. He was a little gimpy.
Fouled the ball off his foot Friday. Got hit by a pitch in the back on Saturday, but playing through it. Darryl Boston is their first base coach. Joe McEwing, Super Joe, over third. Anderson takes a strike.
Anderson, just a kid, top pick for them a couple of years ago. Very athletic, contact hitter. He does not walk at all. He's only drawn 2 walks. Close to 170 plate appearances.
He was the White Sox top prospect going into this season. He began the year with Jimmy Rollins playing short. He was cut in early June. Cubs Sox connections are always a few, and former Cubs manager Ricky Renteria is the bench coach for Robin Ventura.
So he's got a restricted view seat. Should upgrade him.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Slider from Jake.
Anderson's got some pop in his bat. Stole a bunch of bases as a minor leaguer.
Fastball misses. And it's 2-2. Looks like we're pretty much sold out. Just a few empty seats in the upper corners of the second deck, but that's it.
Hobbled or not, Arrieta not going to take any chances, keeping an eye on Eaton.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Watch your source for everything Chicago. ABC 7 Eyewitness News, weeknights at 10. Kathy Brock, Alan Krzyzewski, Cheryl Burton, Jerry Taft, and Mark Giangreco. There's Cabrera. He walked in the first. 2 down. A run in. Southsiders leading 1-0. Rolled right to Baez, down to a knee. That's that. Couple of hits and the Eaton RBI single included. It's 1-0. White Sox lead 1-0. Cubs will have Rizzo, Zobrist, and Contreras against Miguel Gonzalez. A couple of notes in terms of probables for the rest of this series. Chris Sale confirmed he will start on Thursday when he's eligible to return from his 5-game or 5-day team-imposed suspension. There's the split change, swing and a miss, 1-1. It's Kyle Hendricks, James Shields tomorrow night. It's brought to you by Subaru. Shields has been much better here as of late. Jacob Turner, the former Cub, was supposed to start Wednesday. He will not make that start after a couple of rough ones. It'll be Anthony Renato instead for the White Sox. Jason Hamill on Wednesday for the Cubs. John Lackey on Thursday. Rizzo went. Call made by Scott Barry. close, but ball 3.
Tried that little come on back two-seam fastball, didn't quite get to the inside corner. Maybe back to the changeup.
Nope. For the fastball. Well,
struck me out too.
Located. Boy, Rizzo. He said that's down and away to Scott Barrett. Making sure he keeps his first baseman in the game. Switch hitting Zobrist takes a strike. Let's take another look.
So Navarro setting up down and away. Gonzalez hits his spot. It's a little bit low. Understand Anthony's point of view. Good late movement on that little cutter or slider he's throwing here tonight.
Will miss the outside corner. The White Sox rotation to start the year: Sale, Quintana, Rodon, Latos, Danks. Only 40% remains currently in the rotation. Rodon is on the DL. Latos cut in early June. Danks was cut loose for just 4 starts in April. Let's see where this one was.
Yeah, well, after there are high expectations here. After the winter, the acquisition of Frazier, they thought they would be a much better team offensively. And I think there was a sense of urgency, so they were willing to pull the plug on some of those guys that struggled early in hopes of retooling mid-season and making a run at things here in the AL Central.
Swing and a miss by Contreras.
There's still time for the White Sox to do just that. Pitching has been okay. Sale, of course, been really good.
And he got off to a great start.
Quintana, outstanding.
Won 23 of their first 33. Then they went 10 and 26 to drop 3 below 500. Won 10 of 14, and then most recently lost 8 of 9 before winning those 2 games yesterday against the Tigers. Played a lot of close games. 35 one-run decisions, most, at least tied for most in the majors. Frazier can't handle it. That was a double play ball. Instead, first and second with 1 out. Well, the Brewers opened the door for the Cubs yesterday, and that door has opened again tonight.
Frazier doesn't have time to get over in front of that ball, so he's just trusting his hands, and his hands let him down. Sharply hit. But it will be their second error.
Here's Hayward. Jason struck out in the second. Inside, ball 1. Ball strike. Zobrist bottom right. He's the runner at second. Contreras is at first. No hits in the inning, a walk and an error. Ground ball up the middle. They'll get one. They'll get both.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Joe might want another look. For the time being, it's a 4-6-3 inning ender.
Got to believe they're going to look at this one. Wow, that's razor thin. Maybe they won't. Yeah, they are. They're going to check it.
So this manager's challenge is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to need 7, 8, 9 more looks at it before I weigh in. First glance, I thought safe. It still would come down on the side of safe. I don't know if they're going to see enough to convince them to overturn.
Got to be in the back of the glove. I don't think it was.
Yeah, that looks safe-ish there, didn't it?
Yep.
Still saying we need to come up with some technology where the base lights up and all first basemen have a little something in their glove that lights up as well, and then it'd be just like in basketball with the shot, with the clock, the shot clock going off. They're playing Let It Be here in the ballpark. You get it?
I do. Yep. It's not going to work. We're playing changes by Bowie instead. First and third, 2 outs. As Joe wins the challenge. A 4-6-3 double play becomes a 4-6 fielder's choice.
Here comes Robin. Maybe he wants to take a look at the slide at second base.
Well, is he asking now?
I think so, yeah.
Well, see, he should have to ask. This is the one thing with replay. When managers come out,
yeah,
we were trying to get rid of that.
There
right?
should be no other conversations. Either I'm challenging or I'm not.
I think he's asking for a clarification. And whether he has to issue a challenge or if they can talk about it, I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see.
Hey, that's picking at nits. I don't know. He did not make contact with Anderson.
No.
Nor did he take a direct slide at the base, and he slid a little bit by the base. Clearly he was within reach of the base. So you can see the scenario play out where Robin challenges that Contreras made an illegal slide, and Contreras' rule, or the double play is called, and then Joe says, well, wait a minute, I'm not so sure that Anderson touched second base, so I want to challenge that.
Right. I was thinking the same thing. That, if Robin challenges the slide, it could open a can of worms he'd prefer not to. But it looked like he did get the bat.
Yes, it did. I'm just thinking, just the scenario exists where we could have that. You could have 3 challenges on the same play.
Okay.
Likes that first pitch slider to right-handed hitters. See if he stays with that approach. Heater away.
One and nothing on Russell. Feeling it here in July. First time All-Star. Check swing, roller to second, and after all that, the inning's over. Walk, error, overturn, and a lot of talking on the field and in the booth. 1-0 White Sox in the 4th. Arrieta to Abreu, bottom of the 4th. One and one now. Driven to right. It's Zobrist just onto the warning track for the out. Well, one of our favorite guys, and pretty much the White Sox his whole career. Started with the Dodgers, a little time with Cincinnati, but will go down as one of the best players in White Sox history. 16 years here. That was number 14 from the scoreboard, given to him by Jeff Samardzija the year he retired, 2014, and threw out the first pitch tonight. Hawley. Morneau into the left field corner. Will make the turn. Contreras up with it, and he'll keep him to a single. How about that?
Yeah, well, Morneau doesn't run well, and Contreras throws very well. So, no. Even though off the bat that looked like nothing but a double, made a prudent decision to drop anchor there at first base. I mean, how many times you see a ball that far into the left field corner not be a double?
Gets by and allows Morneau to head to second.
We ruled a wild pitch. Arrieta's tough to catch, boy. He throws hard. He has very good movement on his fastball, and that slider will be a tough pitch to handle when it's down in the dirt. Montero will tell you he would have been better off trying to block that one with his chest protector.
It's a strike to Frazier, two-time National League All-Star with Cincinnati. White Sox got him over the winter.
He's hitting 209, but plenty of power. Second in the American League with 28 home runs.
He trails Major League leader Mark Trumbo by 2. Did you know this? I will tell you in a second.
I'm going to go with no.
Don't say that just yet. No White Sox player has ever led the majors in home runs.
I did not know that.
I didn't know it until today.
Do you know the closest they've ever come?
No. Here are the Keller Graduate School of Management League leaders.
Paul Carnico's number 2 on the White Sox all-time home run list.
Thomas?
Frank Thomas, yeah. Those two way out in front of the rest of the pack. The Big Hurt had 448, Carnico 432. Harold Baines third on the list with 221.
Before people start tweeting me, it's the majors, not the American League. Never had a hitter lead the majors in home runs.
Albert Bell hit 49 in 1998. That's the best single season for a White Sox home run hitter.
98, so it's easy to find out. One-two pitch. We'll try it again.
Tick. He ticked it.
Yeah. How many in 98?
49.
Mark McGwire hit 70.
That was the McGwire associate.
He was not particularly close.
Yeah. Who won the deal? Who led the American League that year?
Junior, 56.
Junior Lake?
What's that?
Junior Lake?
No. That was a little before his time.
He was just DFA'd by Toronto. So they could activate Jose Bautista, speaking of home run hitters. There you go. Good
Bill
block that
Melton
time.
led the American League in 1971, but he was 15 back of Pops. Willie Stargell hit 48. Dick Allen in 72 hit 37 to lead the American League. Johnny Bench hit 40. So we're getting closer. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 gone. 4th strikeout for Arrieta.
Yeah, as I mentioned, he used his curveball a fair bit in his start against the Mets, and here effectively tonight as well. That was just nasty.
Here's Shuck. Broken bat grounder. Charged by Baez. That'll end the inning. 1-0 White Sox. Fans of the game.
There they are.
Have to get the requisite shots of couples showing up. White Sox fan and the Cubs fan, and getting along.
Now.
So Miguel Montero leading off, and good timing. I've gotten a few tweets from people, and this question has been brought up in the past about catching guys who throw really hard. Aroldis Chapman is the new Cubs closer. He'll be here tomorrow, and he last week hit 105 on the radar gun. Up back liner and a base hit. How about that? And Eaton whiffed on it, but Montero with a single. How did he get it in between Saladino and Eaton?
Things are starting to break for him. The worm perhaps turning for Miguel Montero. A little bit of a misread there by Eaton, and hobbled as he is, not able to make a speedy recovery on that ball.
So the answer about catching a guy like Chapman that I've got from catchers, velocity is not an issue in terms of catching it. It's movement.
Yeah. Yep. Guys with the turbo sinker are the toughest guys to catch. The ones that beat up the catcher's thumb.
Can't imagine a knuckleball would be that fun to catch. Slicing drive, Eaton clearly not 100%, but he's able to get over there and make the catch to retire Baez. And let's take a look at tonight's Comcast Business of Baseball. He's simply dominating.
Yeah, and saves can be an overrated, can be kind of a cheap statistic, but that 94% success rate, that certainly gets your attention. 15.2 strikeouts per 9, highest rate in baseball history for a pitcher with at least 300 innings pitched.
Ball one on Fowler. Hector Rondon has taken the news in stride, as you imagine he would. You saw Joe during batting practice out in left field, a long conversation with Hector. He'll still pitch in very big spots. So Mike Montgomery, Joe Nathan, Aroldis Chapman. This bullpen's taking on a much different look here over the last week.
Yeah, and that's, you know, when you contemplated the trade market, there's just not a lot of starting pitching out there. So that was one thing. You know, are the Cubs going to add a starting pitcher? They're going to look for depth for the rotation. There's just not a lot out there. Okay, so how else can they improve the club? Bullpen depth. There's so much talk about Andrew Miller. Miller's tougher to get because of the nature of his contract. Chapman more of a rental type player. And you know, there's a lot of the analysts out there said, boy, the Cubs really gave up a lot to get Chapman, and you know, I guess you could make that argument. But when you're in their position, knowing that, you know, in all likelihood they're headed to the postseason, so how, you know, just getting incrementally better, it's worth it to give up those prospects.
Well, strike three on Fowler.
Because this isn't about the regular season. I mean, they're in great shape for the regular season, whether you have Aroldis Chapman or not. But Gleyber Torres is the big piece going the other way. He's a really highly regarded young infielder. McKinney, who the Cubs got from the A's, a good hitter. He's kind of taken a step back this year, but still very young. Crawford, I don't really know much about at all. And Adam Warren had a lot of success with the Yankees. Had his ups and downs here with the Cubs this year, but obviously he is a quality pitcher as well.
One strike on Chris Bryant. Runner at first, 2 outs. Cubs down 1-0. This might be a good move for Adam Warren back to a place where he had success. He might start with the Yankees, what I was reading.
Yeah, but you know, getting back just to the nature of the trade, it's kind of like you walk into the showroom and there's one shiny, bright new car there, and 3 or 4 different people want it. You might overpay for it if you really want it, and that's the case with Chapman. The Cubs weren't the only team in play for him.
Check swing grounder, Saladino to end the Cubs' 5th. Got to get the bats going tonight against Gonzalez. They're down 1-0. 1-0. White Sox have the lead. Deanna Navarro, ball 1. He was a fun guy to be around in 2013. 13th major league season. Alex Avila on the DL with a strained hamstring. Recently had a setback. Fair ball backhanded neatly by Rizzo. And tonight's Cubs historic moment is brought to you by State Farm. Remember this game? A couple of homers off John Danks. And then number 3. 3-homer game for Deanna Navarro. Look at Anthony Rizzo's hair 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was fun, and Navarro was. He was a great interview. Brought a lot of energy to the ballpark every day. A lot of humor in him.
Double and a run for Saladino in the 3rd. Shows bunt, and he could not pull the bat back. Ramos Ramirez seemed to hit well against everybody. Yeah, Carlos Lee, he was a Cub killer.
El Caballo.
It's number 56 for Jake, who is in the dirt. He's been good tonight. He's only given up 3 hits, but 2 were back-to-back. The double by Saladino and then the Eaton RBI single.
And not that we didn't anticipate him getting things pointed in the right direction, but nice to see him following up a very good start last time with another good effort here tonight.
A couple of Cubs minor league notes. Matt Merton having a really nice year at AAA Iowa, and has been placed on the DL with a right quad strain, hitting .322. Congrats to Buddy Bailey, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans manager. Yesterday got his 1900th career win, and a win that catapulted his team into first place. Pelicans first baseman Yasiel Ballagert, the Carolina League Player of the Week. Still 2-2. Saladino hit that rocket near his own dugout. A short hop. Bryant with a nice play.
Pretty play. On the move early, staying low. Always an easy thing to do for such a big guy. This little pick and flip to get Saladino.
time I see Adam Eaton, I think David Arquette.
Yeah, good call.
Hey, the Cubs are welcoming back teachers and their families for the 6th annual Teacher Appreciation Night. Ooh, look at that sky. Tuesday, August 2nd, Cubs offering specially priced tickets to all teachers and their family members to watch the Cubs host the Marlins. All participants get a commemorative canvas bag. For more info, it's cubs.com/specialgroupnights. Selfishly, I kind of hope Ichiro has a slow week, because the Marlins are in next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and he's 4 hits away from 3,000. Let's see, is he in there tonight? He is not in their lineup tonight. Probably will get off the bench, though. Phillies lead 1-0 at Miami as they go to the bottom of the 8th. Roll to Baez. He'll underhand to Rizzo, and that's it for the White Sox after 5. Chicago 1, Chicago 0.
Go Chicago.
How can we get even better so that we can put ourselves in a position to try to get to the playoffs and win 3 postseason series? And we felt like this trade made us better because of the importance of having 3 or 4 shutdown relievers in the postseason.
Keller Graduate School of Management leaders. You heard Cubs President Theo Epstein on the acquisition of Aroldis Chapman. Yeah, the playoffs more than ever have been about your bullpen. Trying to shorten the game. Two strikes to Rizzo. Here's a pitch. It's high. 1-2. Gonzalez has been very good tonight. Both starters have. Rizzo was not happy to be called out on strikes in the 4th inning. Really let Scott Barry have it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Check out the new gold standard for forecasting Chicago weather. Watch Live Doppler 7 Max. with Maximum Power only on ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Great job there by Gonzalez. If you recall Anthony's last at-bat, he was rung up on that fastball. That was on the plate but down, and this time he comes back with the changeup. Navarro working nicely here tonight, and he's had command of all of his pitches. It's obviously always a key. Very few mistakes over the heart of the plate.
Backdoor curve is off the plate, 1-1.
He's allowed just the 3 hits so far tonight. 2 of them fairly soft. Little humpback liner by Montero, and Baez just kind of pushed one out there to right field.
Baltimore chop. Brilliant. I think I've mentioned this before. The other name for that in the Wayback Machine, the Alabaster Blaster.
Alabaster Blaster? For a chopper like
the
that?
Baltimore chop, the one that's like off the plate and right in front of it.
Oh, because it hits the plate, it's the Alabaster Blaster. Who coined that? Ring Lardner or somebody like that?
Probably. Let's see. I'll find the answer. Ball 1. It was Bob Prince. The Alabaster Blast. Yeah.
And do we know the origins of the Baltimore chop?
I'll find that, but I guess Forbes Field and a very hard infield surface. I mean, my guess would be Baltimore chop would have something to do with Baltimore. But
I know we've talked about this in the past, but I don't remember the origins of the Baltimore chop. Keen eye displayed by Contreras. That one just missed. Big reason why he was able to make that big move through the minor league system, plate discipline. Got better and better as he got older. He spins it and leaves it in the zone. He could be asking for trouble.
that just broke. And Contreras is aboard. Wow. At the bat ended up past where Gary Jones stands at third base.
That was funky. Look at that. I think it's spinning like crazy. A little gyro ball there by Contreras. So the fourth hit of the ball game, and again, the ball not struck well at all, but a base runner.
Keller Graduate School of Management statistic. Cubs scoring a lot away from home, 5.5 per game. Quite like that 29 ball club that won the pennant.
Well, that was it was a high score, a run scoring environment, late 20s, early 30s. If memory serves me. What do you want to do? You want to run here? Maybe wait one more pitch?
I think making some things happen is a good idea, especially with Hayward, who's hit a lot of ground balls. These middle infielders may be moving a little bit. Contreras not going. 2-1.
I like running here. A chance the ball gets put in play. Go first to third. Doesn't have a lead at all. He's not going anywhere.
That's a fair ball. Contreras will make the turn. He's headed to third. And he will stop there. It's a double for Hayward. 2-out rally, infield single. And then the 2-base hit, and it'll bring up Addison Russell.
Might have scored had he been running. Let up again from Gonzalez. This time it's elevated thigh high, and Hayward stays on it. Rips it down the first base line. Abreu not quick enough to knock it down. Cubs making some noise here with 2 outs in the 6th, and Don Cooper, longtime White Sox pitching coach, out for a chat.
A reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Well, it's Addison Russell again. Last time he was up with an opportunity, wasn't able to come through. Gets another shot here. Hit likely gives the Cubs the lead.
Here we go. Swing and a miss. Well, you referenced the young guys, right? And your keys to the game, Baez and Russell, been really good here lately. Top prospects have come up to the major leagues here recently. Tim Anderson, the White Sox shortstop. 1-1. Alex Bregman playing third base for the Astros tonight.
Yeah,
second overall pick last year.
Yeah.
He was a natural shortstop, but they already have a shortstop, Carlos Correa.
Absolutely been lighting it up in the minor leagues.
Bounced foul to third. David Dahl, outfielder with the Rockies, batting 6th in their lineup tonight. They're tied at 2 at Baltimore. Both teams' fans making a lot of noise.
Good stuff.
One, two, and we'll try it again.
See the way Navarro's trying to work on those splitters down and then tried to sneak the fastball by him.
Strike 3. No argument from Addison. And the Cubs strand 2 in scoring position. Still 1-0. suite located on the Nuveen suite level. As Jake Arrieta is ready to work, Tim Anderson swings and misses. Not only will your group enjoy a gourmet food and beverage package, they'll also get a pregame tour and a visit from a former Cub during the game. You'll talk baseball, take photos, and get autographs while hearing classic baseball stories. For more information, visit Cubs.com/premier. Big pitch by Miguel Gonzalez to get out of the top of this inning.
Yeah, just a beautiful job by Gonzalez and Navarro, the way they worked Addison Russell in that at-bat. Soft down, the elevated fastball, and then painting away with 93. Arrieta knows now that he doesn't have to throw another strike here. Not to say that Anderson couldn't get a base hit on a ball out of the zone, but look at the numbers on Anderson, read the scouting report on him, you're fairly well convinced he's swinging. As I mentioned earlier, he's only drawn 2 walks all year. Will he make a liar out of me?
Well, I think he's swinging. This is going to be a 3-2 swing. Based on all the information you just laid out.
Put it into the computer, spit it out, he's hacking. And there was a 72.6% chance he was going to foul that 3-2 pitch off. Anderson, an interesting story. Very good athlete, outstanding high school basketball player. A little bit under the radar initially as a baseball player. Didn't really get after it until his junior year in high school. Folks didn't know a whole lot about him. Went to junior college in Mississippi, I think, somewhere in the South. And still, not a lot of folks knew about him, and playing the summer showcase, he got everybody's attention and became a first-round draft pick.
East Central Community College. 37 games into his major league career. Braden Shipley. Does that name sound familiar?
Is he related to Craig?
I don't know. Diamondbacks top prospect. Right-hander made his big league debut tonight in Milwaukee. Did not go well. 5 1/3, 6 runs allowed. The Brewers lead 7-2. He's from Medford, Oregon, isn't Craig from Australia?
Yes.
They could be related. I'm not saying. Dodge out of town scoreboard. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Phillies have extended their lead in Miami. Tigers were here in this very ballpark yesterday. Called strike 3.
There's a bit of irony there.
Yeah.
He offered at all those pitches, fouled some off, and he's can almost crawl inside his mind. All right. I'm going to be patient here. I'm going to be disciplined, and gets rung up on that borderline fastball and put up a good fight.
You are chuckling at his misfortune.
Well, in the irony of that at bat.
I got it. Not sure that's how he would take it if he saw it on replay. It hurt you laughing.
Hey, we share a birthday.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Okay. Many years apart.
I want you to find Tim Anderson tomorrow and say, I was laughing at the irony of the situation, not the fact that you struck out.
I'd tell him that was a good AB, man. I'd take that pitch too. Just as likely to be called a ball as a strike.
2-0 on Cabrera. So it's 1-0 White Sox. The Cubs could easily have 2 runs, right? The homer by Bryant that was snagged away by Cabrera in the very first inning. And then the crazy play that ended the top of the 3rd when Javier Baez got thrown out at the plate. Because you know what this is? It's a game of inches.
It is a game of inches. It's a humbling game. As long as you stay within yourself and take it one day at a time, you're going to be just fine.
That's a strike. 3-2. Abreu next. And ball 4, and we want to wish a very happy birthday to a lifelong Cub fan, John Rosinski from Burbank, Illinois. John turned 90 today. And for sure watching the game tonight at home. Happy birthday, John.
This year is a birthday with former Cy Young Award winner Doug Graybeck. Billy Wagner. And the great Biff Pocoroba.
I believe Bob Apodaca and Biff Pocoroba once formed a battery in the major leagues. Ball 1 on Abreu.
Bob Apodaca and Biff Pocoroba.
Biff and Bob.
You would have had fun calling that one. Abreu, for a slugger, hits the ball on the ground a lot. And maybe the reason, one of the reasons why he's not hitting as many home runs this year. This time he went deep was on Tim Anderson's birthday.
Told, though, he dedicated that home run to you.
Sure he did. Got a former Rookie of the Year in the batter's box, reigning Cy Young Award winner on the mound, former MVP on deck. Good power the other way. Hitters you see third time around, they're a little more patient. They've seen Jake now have a feel for his stuff.
Line, and this time Baez can't get it.
Had some hair on it, but that's, you know, we talk about the acquisition of Chapman and having depth in the bullpen, the ability to shorten games. You know, fewer times you can expose your starting pitchers to these third and fourth time through the batting order when they may be a little bit fatigued. Middle of the order have a better feel for their stuff, and all you have to do is look at the numbers. You know, most pitchers, you see that, you know, 90 pitch or more, the batting average usually takes a pretty big leap. And even though those numbers for Jake are still very, very low, they go up as he works his way through a ball game.
As Chris Bosio talks it over with Jake Arrieta, a reminder tonight's encore of Cubs White Sox will air in its entirety at 11 p.m. on ABC 7's digital channel 7.2 and the following cable channel positions. Justin Morneau.
Pulled some of those fastballs tonight. Now No, but Arrieta. Morneau saw Jake before he was Jake. Most of those confrontations we just showed you on that graphic was when Morneau was playing at a very high level and Jake was struggling to figure it out.
Trying to figure out the count here. They've got, I think it's 2-1.
Yeah.
They had 1 and 2 on the board. We had 3 and 0. It's 2 and 1. Split the difference. Now it's 2 and 2.
Big pitch coming. Prefer not to go full here.
Justin Grimm is getting loose in the Cubs bullpen. As Arrieta works to Morneau. Called strike 3 on a curve.
Morneau sees it up, and you're rarely going to get that pitch called. It's 6 strikeouts for Jake.
Look out. Frazier's bat goes helicoptering into the stands.
Last time up, he threw it halfway down the left field line.
Frank was not singing about his bat when he said fly me to the moon. Deep center, way back, gone. That's a 3-run homer for Todd Frazier.
He has big time power and hits a lot of home runs. He's a big part of the ballpark. Number 29 for Todd Frazier. Nice easy pass at it.
Ball 1 on J.B. Shuck. Big blast by Frazier. Toyota exit velocity 107 off the bat. It made a loud noise. 2-1 to Shuck. We've talked about guys like Frazier before. He's hitting in the low 200s, but his 29th home run. You pitch to those guys because you can get them out. Yet,
Yes.
if you make a mistake, they can really make you pay.
Yeah, and he's you know, he's never been a real high average hitter, but certainly better than what he's doing this year. He had 250-ish lifetime batting average. He takes his walk, so he's not just up there flailing away. But yeah, he's got holes. And
Arietta, but kicks off the mound to Russell, and that will end the inning. Well, lately when the Cubs pitching has struggled, it seems like a lot of times it's giving up the home run ball, and that's the case tonight. As Frazier gets Arietta for a 3-run blast.
brought to you by Benjamin Moore. He gets Rizzo there on that fastball. It was probably a little bit low, but still a quality pitch. Locks up Dexter and then paints the outside corner to get Addison Russell. Brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other. He's been good. He's been very sharp.
Into the late innings now as he faces Miguel Montero. And that will get in. Right field corner, Montero on his way to second. And a leadoff double. He's 2 for 3.
Yep. Pretty good swings here of late. So
over
a bit of good news
tonight. Started at 196.
Get him going out there in the White Sox bullpen.
Now hitting 205. Zach Duke. Suggest getting down 4-0 every day, but the Cubs were down 4 yesterday and won.
This is the third consecutive really good start against the Cubs. Yesterday it was Junior Guerra who went 6 1/3, allowed 1 run. It was unearned. Before that, the day before, Zach Davies was awfully good for the Brewers.
Deep left. Gone. 4-2. Baez cranks one.
Here we go. Cubs dropped a 5 spot on the Brewers in the 7th inning yesterday. And double home run to start the 7th tonight. It's a hanging changeup. The pitch that's been so good for Gonzalez betrays him. Belt high and gone. That's your Toyota home run replay. Number 10 for Javi Baez. Cuts the lead in half.
Cubs fans making noise.
It's like a college football game, the atmosphere here.
Ball 1 on Fowler. And with that first run for the Cubs, Chicagoland's own eClick Lending will donate $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families. Gonzalez at 100 pitches. Pop up caught by Anderson, the shortstop. So Fowler is 0 for 4. It will bring up Bryant. Blue Jays beat the Padres tonight 4-2. Aaron Sanchez is 11-1. 7 shutout.
Gain a game on the Red Sox, perhaps. Red Sox trailing the Tigers 4-2 in the 8th.
Ichiro did pinch hit, went 0 for 1 tonight in the Marlins 4-0 home loss to the Phillies. He only had 2 hits in the game.
Tommy Hellickson with a dandy for Philadelphia tonight. You see him moved to a contender.
Cardinals and Mets were postponed. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow. Bryant chased one. 8 strikeout for Gonzalez, and a look at the forward upcoming Cubs schedule. Again, a little earlier tomorrow. And then 7 o'clock starts Wednesday and Thursday from Clark and Addison. This call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. By Lakeside Bank, celebrating 50 years of financial strength. Lakeside Bank, it's about. A strike called. Zach Duke, his major league leading 51st appearance. You see the innings, a lot less than the games.
There's a loogie. Left-handed, one-out only guy. Doesn't mean he always comes in for just one guy, but you get the idea.
He's ahead in the count, 1-2.
Now, left-handed hitters are hitting .275 against him, significantly better than right-handed batters, but with no home runs, so they're good at suppressing power.
Brought in on a 3-year deal prior to 2015. And he has been a busy man as a member of the White Sox. His 122nd appearance over the last 2 seasons.
Doesn't throw hard, relies on movement and breaking stuff and command. Those are splits I talked about. Had a long career. He broke in with Pittsburgh back in 2005 as a starting pitcher. Had success early. 8-2 with a 181 that year in 14 starts.
Breaking balls popped up by Anthony. Anderson's got it and will stretch. Here at U.S. Cellular Field, Javier Baez with a line shot homer. It's now 4-2. Brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Right-hander Justin Grimm.
His 44th appearance for Grimm. No wins, no losses, a .506 ERA. Been quite as sharp this year as last. Bit of an up and down ride for him.
Jake Arrieta, 6 innings, 4 runs on 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 6. I'm not speaking of Grimm in particular, but really everybody in this bullpen. Montgomery, via trade last week. Bounced to first. Rizzo's got it. Joe Nathan got here yesterday. Chapman tomorrow night. How you feeling if you're the incumbents here? Part of the gig, but
yeah,
you got to perform.
That's, if there's a downside for being on a really good team that's in this position at this point in the season, you know that if you're not performing, somebody may be on their way to take your spot.
Strike one. Saladino.
Bullpen, for the most part, has been solid all year.
Swing and a miss.
Leading entering the 9th inning, the Cubs are 56-1 this year. So, way more times than not, it's a comfortable lead in those situations. But again, so the Chapman deal wasn't necessarily, we don't trust Hector Rondon, we need to add Aroldis Chapman. It was like, we just want to improve our bullpen. And when you get a guy like Chapman, because of his success and his stuff, he becomes the 9th inning guy. I asked Joe today, I said, would you think about Chapman in the 8th if they had a couple lefties coming up and then Hector in the 9th? And he said, yeah, I think Chapman's going to be the 9th inning guy. And he really thinks Hector's going to rise to the occasion in the 8th.
Ball strike 3 to get Saladino. Timeout for the Dunkin' Donuts Fun Cam. Joe Nathan said the adrenaline was really pumping, and it was a hot day. You can see he was grinding. Second and third, nobody out. Part of the order, 3 straight strikeouts, and that led to the comeback, and he got the win in his return to the majors.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. Boy, he was in a bit of a bind and locked up Braun with that fastball. Got LaCroix to chase the slider. High heater to get Carter. A lot of adrenaline for a guy that's been in the game for a long time. He said, you know, it felt like opening day for him.
Strike pitch. Eaton fouls back. So these last 2 days, Eaton's been right in the middle of it. The suspended game that ended yesterday. He had the walk-off RBI single in the 9th. 3-run homer early in game 2 and scored the game-winning run in the 9th. Tonight, the go-ahead RBI single in the 3rd inning. Still 1-2 on him. Called strike 3 to end the inning. To the 8th. 4-2 White Sox.
MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Young Cub fan in enemy territory. Sellout crowd this evening. 39,510. Getting late. Only 6 outs to work with. Cubs trail by 2. David Robertson. Are we thinking he's available tonight? He made 3 appearances in about 15 hours.
I'm guessing not. And a good guy to have lead off an inning. On base skill set. Get a knock, work a walk, whatever it takes at this stage of the ball game. The Powerball's up to $422 million. Get yourself a couple free agents with that kind of money.
Off pitch to take. And a keen eye for Ben Zobrist. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Quick pitch there from Zach Duke.
He has run it full with Contreras on deck. There's a leadoff walk, and that will get the tying run to the plate.
And we'll get Robin Ventura to the mound for another pitching change.
I believe Matt Albers is ready. We are ready. This call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. By Lakeside Bank, celebrating 50 years of financial strength. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. By new BP gasoline with Invigorate, our best fuel ever. And by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. Right-hander Matt Albers, who was the emergency starter the other night. Chris Sale was sent home when 2 innings gave up an unearned run against Detroit. Mostly in relief this year. It was his only start, in fact.
Sinker slider guy. Ventura looking for a ground ball double play here. Alva's been around a long time. Came up with the Astros in '06.
So Zobrist, who walked, is at first with nobody out. Wilson Contreras has not shied away from the big moment here in his rookie season. He homered on the first pitch of his career. Shows bunt and looks at a strike.
Alvarez has always had that long arm, loose delivery, able to take the ball day after day. A rubber armed right-hander. Did not pitch yesterday, but worked the 3 previous days.
Bounce to second, throw to second. Out is Zobrist. Fielder's choice, Contreras. Joel Madden chatting with the home plate umpire Scott Barry about.
I've been wondering if Anderson touched second base. Would be my guess. No challenge. He dragged his toe across the back of the base.
Here's Hayward. He'll try to break up 2, and he does. And Contreras and Anderson came together at second.
And now the White Sox are going to take a look and decide whether they want to challenge that play at second base.
All these double play turns now. The new slide rule with the neighborhood rule gone.
Well, that looked like a sure double play ball. But see Anderson kind of flat-footed as he gets that throw.
Yes.
Has no momentum going into the throw.
There was no attempt to really get out of the way, right? He's just standing right there.
It was almost like he was worried that maybe last time he cheated a little bit, so he's going to make sure he stayed on the base there.
No challenge.
Instead of going up and over, he kind of recoils as he flips that ball to first base.
Actually, what Wilson did was textbook. He slid right to the back. Happened to be right into the shortstop, but yeah, that's legal. So Hayward now at first, and Russell takes a strike.
Yeah, there's no rule about making contact. You can't go out of your way to make contact. And you have to slide before you get to the base.
So after the leadoff walk, and since Albers came in, a couple of ground balls to second. And it's up to Russell here with 2 outs. Two and one.
Since we focused on Baez and Russell in our keys to the game, and Baez went deep, it's only fitting that Russell would follow suit.
I agree.
Ooh. Borderline pitch goes his way, puts him into a hitter's count.
Ball 4. 2 on, 2 down. It's Miguel Montero.
Robin Ventura now barking at Scott Barry, saying those balls aren't down. Well, they're borderline for sure. 2 quality pitches. Pitcher's pitches, and what a great eye by Russell. An account where a lot of hitters are going to be overly aggressive. He's able to lay off.
And 1 on Montero. Fly to left, single to right, double to right, and scored the Cubs' first run ahead of Javier Baez on his home run. Have 7 hits to the White Sox 5. They've also walked 4 times.
A little slow roller to the second base position is a base hit. And Saladino positioned so far out into shallow right field. Could use a little alabaster blaster right here.
This has been a road trip, 5-gamer, but Cub fans have followed their team to Milwaukee and to the south side tonight. The 1-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Cubs strand 2. We go to the last of the 8th. It's still 4-2 White Sox.
Typically with Justin, as it is with most relievers, it's an inning at a time, but back out there for a little more. Boy, he was really sharp last inning. Had a look in his eye, too. Really aggressive.
Came in with 8 scoreless outings in a row. Trying to make it 9 here. The 0-1 to Anderson is low and outside.
Soft line out, a couple of punch outs for Anderson tonight.
Missed the curve.
Big blow, delivered by Todd Frazier, but it was a 1-out walk to Cabrera that got things started for the Sox in the 6th.
Arrieta as a Cub, 5-0 on the road against the American League. He would be on the hook for the loss if they don't come back. A 1-hopper to Baez. 1 away. Way foul. Cabrera has a 9-game hitting streak on the line. 0 for 1 with 2 walks. That hitting streak will continue. It's a double.
A switch hitter who's really good from both sides of the plate. Seems like he's about 40. He's only 31 at a very young age.
That'll be it for Grimm. Carl Edwards Jr. And this call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. It's about time. By Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or localfordstores.com. By Instant Care, the medical care you need, the settlement you deserve. By Presence Health, compassion is our mission. And by Volkswagen. Carl Edwards Jr. with one out here in the 8th against Jose Abreu. Cabrera the runner at second. Here's a pitch. Ball 1.
Carl has been awfully good. 13 games, a 1.93 ERA. Opposing batters hitting just 130 against him. That's 6 out of 46. 1 extra base hit allowed.
Two and 0. Orioles beat the Rockies in the bottom of the 10th on an error. 3-2 the final. So they've won 5 in a row. Tigers beat the Red Sox 4-2. Justin Verlander got his 10th win. He beat Drew Pomeranz. Here's a 2-0. 2-1.
98. Well, we've seen 98 from Carl yet. Carl, 24 years of age, born in Prosperity, South Carolina.
Abreu walks. Here's Morneau. Yankees beat the Astros in Houston 2-1. Assuming, let's see, Andrew Miller got the save.
Yeah, now, from the Yankees' point of view, it's not like they've gutted that bullpen. They still have Miller and Betances. I mean, it's pretty well set. And we'll see what they do with Miller as we get closer to the trade deadline.
Ball 1. Four-seamer with cutting action. 1-1. Defending champs are game under 500 for the first time since mid-May, and they could drop 2 under. Royals trail at home in the 8th, 5-2 to the Angels. That one caught by Russell. Throw to second. Eludes Baez, and the runners will hold. 2 outs.
You could see Addison position himself to make that throw. No harm.
Frazier with the big 3-run homer in the 6th. His 29th of the year. Called strike
in this game, and it's the nature of the game. How one swing in the back can change the narrative. Right? For Jake, if Frazier just misses that pitch, gets under it, and hits a high fly ball to center field, you go, well, 6 innings, 1 run. Another outstanding effort from Arrieta tonight. Now Reporters will be asking him, gee, what's wrong? He has set the bar awfully high. More good than bad from Jake tonight. They were able to bunch their base runners. The 1-out walk, the single by Abreu, and then the 2-out home run by Frazier.
One, two. Baez, Fowler, Bryant due for the Cubs in the ninth. Swing and a miss. And a breaking ball to end the inning. White Sox strand 2. Here comes the ninth. 4-2. The all-new 2016 Mazda CX-9. Mazda, driving matters. Mercedes-Benz drive of the game that put the Cubs on the board in the 7th. Javier Baez with a bullet. Albers, who got 3 outs in the 8th, will start the 9th. No career saves, but I'd give it about an 8% chance he'll finish this game.
And you think he would have picked one up somewhere along the way. 437 games pitched in his career, 438 counting tonight. 24 of those were starts. He did a little starting early in his career.
Was I a little low on my percentage? 2 guys up in the bullpen. Right field corner. And it's going to be right at the wall. Baez to second. He's going to try for no. Smart move. I was a little worried. Cannot get thrown out down 2.
No, sir. He's peeking back over his shoulder, costing him a little speed, too. And triples are fun to watch, and he's the guy who likes to push it, but by all means, this is the right play. No. Whoop, 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 whoop. Break it down.
Yeah, you could just almost see the two guys, one on each shoulder. Go.
Yeah, this is fun. Go.
No. Here's Fowler. Tying run at the plate. Second, actually 3rd straight inning that put the leadoff man on base. Swing and a miss. Tommy Kahnle and Dan Jennings, righty and lefty respectively, up in the White Sox bullpen. David Robertson pitched Saturday night, then Sunday, and then Sunday again. So unavailable tonight.
Albert's normally a sinker baller who tries to keep the ball down around the knees, but maybe a little extra adrenaline pumping here could be a good thing for him, but it could prove to be costly too. That elevated sinker sometimes gets hit a long way. That time he tried the changeup. Rough night for Dexter so far. Jennings getting ready for the man on the right there, the one with the helmet on.
This is the other advantage of acquiring a closer in a role as Chapman. If one guy's not available, you can use your other closer, right?
Yeah,
2 and 2.
Absolutely. Use Chapman for 2 days in a row or 3 out of 4. Okay, you're down tonight. We got Rondon to close.
Takes off for third, and he'll get there without a throw. Got to be 100% sure you're going to make it, and he did.
Yeah. Not really gain a whole lot there, down 2 runs.
3-2 to Fowler. Here's a pitch. Fouled it off himself. By the way, was his 9th steal of the year. That leads the team.
Just barely hanging in there.
The glove of Abreu. Baez scores. More importantly, the tying run is on base. 4-3 now.
How much fun is this? Cubs came from behind in Milwaukee yesterday. Abreu is not very good defensively. That ball was well struck. That wasn't an easy play, but it wasn't the best effort either by the big fella. Cooper trying to bring a sense of calm to the proceedings out there.
If I read lips correctly, looked like he said trying to get a ground ball here. Dave Martinez, a couple of words for Dexter Fowler, Cubs base runner. Here comes Chris Bryant. White Sox have had a ton of nail biters this year.
Remember, Chris Bryant just missed a home run his first at bat. Lucky Cabrera went up over the wall to bring it back. Probably feels like he's owed one. Think about Fowler as a threat to run, but coming off the hamstring injury, less likely.
atmosphere in here is something else, isn't it?
It's been great.
One and one.
Graphic is the Trucks' way of calling a home run here.
Broken bat, Flair will get in. Fowler on his way to third. Bryant towards second. Going to be a play there, and he's out.
Man.
Melky Cabrera has had a huge night on defense, and he's gotten Chris Bryant both times. Chris shaken up as that tag got him on either the helmet or directly to the face. As it is, they'll have the tying run at third with one out.
Cracked back, base hit to left. Bryant tries to get into scoring position, but a heck of a play by Melky Cabrera.
Dan Jennings coming on with Rizzo coming up. Call to the pen brought to you by Lakeside Bank. It's about time. I guess I don't need to say it, but I will. Don't go anywhere.
Sits there and waits for that hop and drops the tag on Bryant with that head first slide.
This was a Cabrera catch in the first inning. A little worried about Chris. He did not look very comfortable walking off the field. So we hope he's all right. PJ Mainville chatting with him after that collision. So here's Dan Jennings. Lefty against lefty. Infield pulled in. Fowler the runner at third with one out.
Who would you rather have up there than Anthony Rizzo?
Rizzo has a major league leading 14 game-winning RBIs this year. Already up on the bat a little bit. A two-strike approach in this spot. 0-1.
I see a lot of sliders from Jennings. Uncharted territory for Jennings as well.
We're down 4-0 yesterday in Milwaukee. Came all the way back to win 6-5. They were down 4-0 tonight. They pulled to within one.
control can be a bit of an issue for Jennings. He has walked 22 this year in just 43 and a third innings of work.
Two balls and a strike. 2-2. What a thriller. Game 1 of 4 this week between these two teams.
2 strikes on him yesterday when he got the big hit off Will Smith.
Jennings with a 2-2, no pitch. Rizzo asked and was granted time. We are tied. Fowler scores 4-4.
I repeat, who would you rather have up in that situation than Anthony Rizzo? I don't care if it's a right-hander or a left-hander.
Looking for Cub fans to chant MVP.
Just so good. Rock solid with the approach. 2 strikes, takes the lower body out of play, just a little rock and go and slap it to left.
Don Cooper out.
Anthony really John Maley's best friend in many ways because he can talk to all his young hitters and go, do what that guy does.
Yeah. Back to the Bryant play. Was it worth the risk to get into scoring position?
Yeah, it's not a bad baseball play. For me, trying to win a ball game.
I hope he's all right. I'm worried about him after that collision. Zobrist needs time. Rizzo at first, 4-4 tie, still only 1 out. Jennings will throw over. Jake Arrieta will get a no decision. Zobrist thought about a bunt, pulled it back, ball 1. Solo Miguel Gonzalez certainly pitched well enough to win.
Starting pitching matchup that tilted heavily in the Cubs' favor, but Gonzalez was outstanding here tonight.
Strike to Zobrist. 1-1. Zobrist to right. Eaton is back, and he'll make the catch. So 2 down. Now Contreras. Two in the 7th, 2 more in the 9th. Fowler and Rizzo with the RBI hits. In this inning. Ball 1 on Wilson. The dirt.
He's likely on here at least through Hayward. Nothing wrong with taking a big swing here, Wilson. Likewise here on 3-0.
Well, this offense early this season loved to mess with the closer with late leads, but tonight they're trying to give Hector Rondon a save chance before he becomes a setup guy.
I would like to see him turn it loose right there.
On Contreras.
Big moments for a young player.
Ground ball into right. Rizzo already in scoring positions, not even going to think about third. Matt Caesar will run for Rizzo. Congrats all around for Rizzo. We don't need to tell you how big this would be if Hayward could deliver.
Shade him a little bit the other way in the outfield.
Fastball, strike 1.
Strong pull on the infield, step the other way for Shuck in center. More likely to go the other way with the lefty on the mound. scored 6 out of 12 in his career against Jennings.
Just cracked his bat on that foul. 1-2.
A couple of doubles and a triple among those 6 hits.
First and second, 2 runs in to tie the game. Now 1-2. It's 2-2. Jennings ready. Here's his 2-2. Count holding.
Morrow out for a quick chat. Maybe to say, here's not only what I want to throw, but here's the plan. Here's exactly what I want you to do with the pitch. And a lot of times during a lengthy at bat with a man on second base, the catcher will go out there and just say, here, let's throw pitch X. I don't want to flash any signs in case the base runner is starting to get a feel for what we're doing here.
Well, it's full 3-2. If he walks, it would be Russell with the bases loaded. Runners take off, swing and a miss, but they tie it up. A couple of big hits by Fowler and Rizzo, and Bryant out at second, but Rizzo comes through to the bottom of the ninth. Rizzo stays in and plays center. We'll move Hayward to right. We'll also shift Zobrist to the infield. Baez plays first. Zobrist at second. Mike Montgomery hoping his second outing as a Cub goes way better than the first. Gave up that home run the other night to Kirk Neuenhuis in his Cub debut. JB Shuck the batter. Ball one. 4-4 bottom nine.
Two home run game for Neuenhuis. The left-handed hitter hit a 3-run home run off Montgomery into the left field corner at Miller Park. Joe said he walked in with Montgomery the next day to the ballpark. He said, you know how precise the planets had to be aligned and all the weird stuff that had to be going on for that to happen. Don't let that one linger. Montgomery's last two appearances with the Mariners before joining the Cubs were starts.
Two balls, two strikes. Base hit to start it. And the White Sox with two walk-offs yesterday. Big turnaround first by Shuck. In the regularly scheduled game, David Robertson gave up 3 homers in the ninth to tie it before the White Sox won it in the bottom of the ninth. So to do that again here tonight. It wasn't 3 homers, it was 2 runs, but Varro will bat right-handed. Bryant in on the grass at third, and Montgomery will toss to Baez. By the way, we got clarification on the maneuver Joe tried to make yesterday with La Stella and Rizzo. First baseman's mitt can only be used at first, and whoever's closest to first base when the play starts is considered the first baseman. And what I didn't know is the Cubs had actually done it previously this year, and the umpires didn't catch it. Ben Zobrist had been over there and bunt play. So if Zobrist and Baez were to swap spots here at any point this inning, they'd have to switch gloves too. It's the other benefit of calling games for a Joe Madden managed team. We get a really
different scenarios.
Good reading of the rule book.
I couldn't find anything about that in the rule book. I think that's probably just in the umpires. They have like a kind of an umpire case book where they review such things. And Joe said he had a long conversation, or at least a conversation with Field and Culberth yesterday about that. He said, I don't believe you, Field, and I don't think that's right.
You can wear a regular fielder's glove at first, but the first baseman's mitt cannot be worn any other position. Montgomery behind Navarro 2-0.
Navarro showing bunt and continues to do so. That's a dandy. Make sure you get an out.
And they do. That goes 1-3 on the sacrifice.
Yeah, that's, you know, kind of old-fashioned, move them along in a tie ball game, but it makes perfect sense. Montgomery's a ground ball pitcher, and Navarro doesn't run well, so Ventura making sure he stays out of the double play, and Navarro gets the bunt down and pushes the winning run into scoring position.
Yes, we have a Caesar and a salad Dino. Where's Alex Cobb?
Nowhere to be found.
Was it Dimitri Young who once said, what's your favorite salad? And he replied, house.
Side.
Winning run at second for the White Sox. That's Shuck and Montgomery with the inside move just to try to keep him honest.
Lefty hitter Eaton on deck and a base open.
And a strike.
Originally a supplemental pick after the first round of the 2008 draft by the Royals. Moved along to the Rays, pitched in their minor league system before being traded to the Mariners. Got his first taste of the big leagues last season. Made 16 starts, was 4-6 with a 4.60 ERA. 30 times out of the pen for Seattle this year, plus those 2 starts I referenced. Probably not in too many of these extreme high leverage situations.
In the center, the base hit. Caesar will charge, and the ball gets away, and the White Sox win it. 5-4 the final. That's 3 walk-off celebrations in the last 2 days for the White Sox. I'll tell you, there might have been a play too.
Yeah, it's kind of a do or die play for Caesar. You got to come full bore on that ball just to give yourself a fighting chance. If he gets it cleanly and gets off a good strong throw, we would have had a play at the plate.
So the White Sox win it 5-4. Hyundai player of the game is Tyler Saladino from the 9th spot. He had 2 hits tonight, including the game ender.
A tough start to his Cub career for Mike Montgomery. Gave up the home run we talked about to Neuenhuis the other night in Milwaukee. Now he comes into this ball game in the bottom of the 9th tied. And just made a couple mistakes. Got the ball up to Shuck for the leadoff base hit. And likewise there to Saladino.
So the White Sox beat the Cubs in a thriller 5-4. And we'll be right back. Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC7 is being brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. By State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. By your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. And by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way.